Andrea Heuston here. I am the hostess of the Lead Like a Woman show, where I feature strong female leaders and how they are changing our world for the better. We have over 40,000 people on social media who are sharing our message of empowering female leaders to empower others. And keep sharing. Follow the show right now as you listen. And if you head on over to Apple and give us a 5-star review, even better. I'm going to let you know I'm coming to you from my beach house on the Washington coast for this one, and I'm having some audio issues. So if you hear it, something doesn't sound exactly like it usually does, forgive me. We'll be back to normal next week. So in this episode, we're going to talk about embracing vulnerability as a pathway to personal growth. But first, before we get to that, this episode is brought to you by Artitude. Are you a woman who wants to start a business, or do you already own one? Artitude has a special offer for you. Learn to pitch for funding and for sales with our women-owned package. It includes content and speaker coaching and a pitch or sales presentation so that you can win with confidence. You can find it at artitudes.com/women-owned. That is women with an E, because we are collective here. And the best way to find me, type hashtag LeadLikeAWoman into your search bar, or as always, I am all over LinkedIn. I am really excited to introduce my guest today. Wendy Beth Cozzens keeps her promises. Isn't that a great line to open a biography? Wendy Beth is a fellow traveler, speaker, #1 international best-selling author, and soul guide. Her purpose and passion are to help others work through confusion, loss, and suicidal ideation issues that she faced and overcame, eventually creating her happily ever after. After uncovering the dark lies she was raised with, she found empowered truth to live from. She intuitively discovered and then further designed a unique living blueprint, which she lives daily and now shares with others through the book Living Blueprint, a true story, 5 principles to creating an authentic, joy-filled life. Utilizing her family science degree, Wendy Beth offers her own real, raw story and a powerful, practical 40-day journey to help you gain traction toward what you want most in your life. Her work guides others into a world of choice, safety, belonging, and unapologetic authenticity, ultimately allowing them to create their own happily ever after. Welcome, Wendy Beth, to the Lead Like a Woman show.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
I think this is going to be a great conversation. Over 7 years ago, you became a soul guide coach. And earlier this year, you published your book, which we just talked about, but I'm going to repeat it because I want everyone to remember it. Living Blueprint, a true story, 5 principles to create an authentic, joy-filled life. So Wendy Beth, what led you down this path?
So, Andrea, in 1989, I survived suicide.
Wow. First of all, wow. I'm glad you're here.
At the age of 21. Thank you so much. I am too. And I spent the next 30 years being a full-time mom, raising my children, serving in my communities wherever I was. And then realized, I'd been in a marriage for 25 years and realized that I was hurting and I couldn't fix it in that relationship. So I went through a divorce, started solo traveling in Europe.
Wow, I love it.
Was sitting on a beach in Spain and was so happy. I mean, I had literally, with everything I'd learned, with the love I've had of my children and from my children, I sat there and I was just like, this is it. I'm in nirvana. Like, I was experiencing happily ever after. And I knew that I had a choice in that moment. I could either stay there and just live out my life. And I thought, you have to share this. You can't just keep this all to yourself. You need to share with how you found this happiness. And interestingly, the next month, one of my dearest friends died by suicide.
Oh, that's awful.
That was in December of 2019. The day after he died, he came back to me.
Wow.
And he said, and this is all in the book.
Yeah.
He said, you have to share with people how you learn to live, how you learn to ask for help, how you learn to live, how you learn to ask for help, how you learn to tell the truth no matter what, and how you learned how to connect to the love that connects us all.
Oh, beautiful. That's beautiful.
And he was with me somehow. I have no idea how it happened, but he was with me for the next 2 weeks. We didn't have another conversation. He was just with me. And um, after that, I just started trying to figure out, how am I going to do this? How am I going to keep this promise to him? How am I going to share those things? And
Right.
so I hired a coach,
Wow.
writing coach, and she started having me write down all of my life, all my experiences, everything that I'd gone through. And over the next year, as I watched myself write down all of these things at 54 years, it was so clear to me that I had first discovered who I was, then I had understood and learned how to follow my own personal guidance system. Then I had learned how to nurture this biochemistry. Then I had learned how to be unapologetically authentic, no matter what. And the glue that had always kept it all together, Andrea, was love.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And so that was really the book. So I put just enough of my story in the book to help somebody know that I know I've been there. I know what it
Yeah.
feels like to be at rock bottom more than once. And then it's a 40-day journey for somebody else to discover who they are, their personal guidance system, what their body needs,
Yeah.
how to tell the truth no matter what, and how to really utilize love as this glue that keeps everything together.
Wow. So what you've done is you've created a gift for other people. It's a gift.
Absolutely. Thank
So
you.
you just said the 5 principles to creating an authentic, joy-filled life. I'm going to ask you to repeat them one more time for our listeners, if you could. What are those 5 principles? One more time.
So the first principle is to discover and live from who you are. The second one is to understand and then follow your own personal guidance system.
Yes.
The third one is to nurture your biochemistry.
Important.
The fourth one is to tell the truth and be authentic.
Yes.
And the fifth one is to desire and choose loving kindness. Loving kindness is the glue that keeps it all together.
I love those. And I think we could all use a bit of that. It feels as if, especially right now, we could all use a bit of all that. Because it's important for us all to discover and live from who we are. And it's really hard to do sometimes because you have your family of origin. You have, like I did, the very, very right-wing conservative cult-like church I grew up in. You have so many influences. And I've got to say, you have so many things online that are telling you how to eat, how to nurture your biochemistry when it may not be right for you. But there's so much there that we can all learn from.
Well, one of the statistics I share in the book is in America alone, $299 billion was spent in 2021 telling us who we are. So if we don't know who we are, somebody else is going to slap a label on us.
Right. They're going to tell us who we are, even if it's not really who we are.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, I want to know, when you decided to create your book, what went right?
Oh my gosh. I had the most amazing writing mentor.
Oh, yay.
And the most amazing editor. And I think the biggest thing was my biggest cheerleader, which is my husband. And I didn't tell you this part. So my husband and I were married for 25 years. I told you we got divorced.
Right.
In 2017, we got divorced. But then in 2020, we got married again.
Oh my goodness. You had figured out how to discover and live from who you are, how to understand and follow your own guidance system, all the things you are now teaching people to do. What a lovely story.
We are so happy. And we both we had to heal. We had to heal. And for me personally, I wouldn't, I'm not going to put words in my husband's mouth, but I had to learn truly to value who I was, my voice, my personal guidance system, no matter what anyone else said. And that was like this magic sauce. Like now he is so authentically who he is, and I am authentically who I am. And it is magic.
Oh, I think that's such a beautiful love story. I love that. You have chosen loving kindness. The
Absolutely.
glue. The
And we are
glue.
so different. Like I am a believer, like I have my own personal guidance system and my husband has, we have these fun discussions because we are just completely different in so many ways. And it's
That's
okay
good.
now because we can hold space for each other's truth no matter what.
Right. And that's important because I think sometimes in long relationships, you lose a little of yourself to the other person. And it goes both ways, obviously.
Absolutely.
And it's just how it happens. So really stepping back and figuring out authentically who you are has likely really helped that relationship be a way different version of what it was before.
Absolutely. And I think, especially, we had a child, I had a child when we got married, and then we had three more children. And when you are raising children and trying to put food on the table and trying to take care of all the children's needs, I mean, there's not a lot of time to figure
Yeah.
out. That's one of the things about the book is it breaks it down into these. I work in this book every single day. It's
Wow.
a book. I love it. Like today I'm in the biochemistry part, and today I've been utilizing your sexual response system. That's one of the things. And you just go deep, and wherever, no matter whether last year I was at a different place, and so now this year I'm doing the book again because
Wow.
that forward movement is what keeps me happy. It's just always growing and learning and getting better.
So important for everybody to grow and learn and get better in their own way. So I want to know then, how does vulnerability impact leadership and personal growth? We can take both separately or together, but how does that vulnerability, that pure authenticity, impact that growth?
In my experience, vulnerability allows others to feel safe with us.
Oh,
And when we have safety, when people actually truly feel safe, then walls come down and we can go deeper into love. And I've always said that differences are opportunities
mm,
to go deeper into love. And
absolutely.
no matter who you're talking to, if you have two people who are willing to talk something enough, you will eventually, if you are listening to each other and you're being vulnerable, the walls are coming down, you are going to hit the bedrock of love that is inside of each one of us.
Oh, the bedrock of love. So how does that apply to leadership too then? How does that apply? And because this is the Lead Like a Woman show, and we'll talk about the woman part next, but leadership is super important because we're leading ourselves, we're leading our families, we're leading our businesses, we're leading our teams, and we're leading each other. How does that vulnerability and authenticity impact that aspect?
I think again, it takes down the walls. And when you don't have walls and you don't have barriers, whether it's inside yourself, whether it's in your closest relationships, whether it's in your organization, when you have walls and barriers, you're not going to be dealing with the truth. And the truth is always going to be where we want to start from. And so,
Yeah.
as a leader, if you are based in truth, number one, you're based in love.
Okay.
If you're based in love, this is my favorite quote. You are going to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And as a leader,
That's also a Bible verse, my friend.
it is.
That's the golden rule.
And as a leader, you have to do unto others. In my opinion, if you want to be a good leader, you do unto others what you would have them do unto you.
And that's beautiful, I think, because if we think about it that way, when we're coming at that place from that place of authenticity to the challenges, to the conversations, to anything that we're dealing with in our life, it comes across. It's important that people can see that and feel it. Because authenticity is something you can feel. At least that's what I truly believe. You know when somebody is embracing it versus when they are faking it.
Mm-hmm. I think you can see it and you can feel it in your heart. You can feel it in your body. You actually, when you're with somebody who's authentic, you actually have a visceral reaction. Like there's energy that is exchanged and circulates between the two of you. I know whenever I'm in a session, somebody, people who I work with are very vulnerable. They're being very open. They're being very truthful. There is an energy, even through a Zoom, that you can feel when somebody is being completely
Oh,
authentic.
absolutely. Yeah. So now I want to know, there are 40 activates. That's what you call them, 40 activates. So they're not activities, but they activate. So in Living Blueprint. So you're going to design your clear and concise living blueprint, yours. Now, what I heard from you too, which is exciting, is you could change it. You're in a different place, just like you are right now. And then you are guiding people to spend at least an hour each week planning and writing down what you want to be and have happen in your life for the next week or month. What's very interesting about this, and I have to share it with you right now, is that I was in a class this morning for women business leaders, and it's put on by WeBank, Women Business Enterprise National Council, the certifying body for women-owned businesses in the U.S. A lot of us work with corporations. But here's what my homework is. I just have to share this with you, okay? So my homework list, category 1, in this lifetime, would it be fun if this happened? 30 goals or 30 ideas. Category 2, over the next year, the 5 or 10 intentions I'd like to see happen are. And then category 3, in the next week or month, here's the one thing that would blow my mind if I could make it come true. So I feel, first of all, I feel like the universe is sharing you with me right now for a reason, after I had that conversation earlier today. But just absolutely fascinating, because it's really spending that core time with yourself. It's spending time with yourself to figure out what's next. What's going to light you up?
Well, and I think that my experience is that when we spend that time with ourselves, we know. We know the truth. We can.
We do.
We might have to wait. We might have to learn how to listen to ourselves, how to be guided by ourselves. But it's in there. It's inside of us.
It is, right? And it's always been there, and it always changes. Our life experiences make us who we are. They absolutely do. So, how beautiful. So I want to know, you've had mentors and people in your life that have really helped guide you. I mean, this friend of yours who committed suicide helped guide you to put into writing and into action the Living Blueprint. So tell me, what is the best or most impactful piece of advice you've been given that really sticks with you to this day?
I'm sorry, I already gave it to you. It was do unto others.
You don't have to be sorry.
That was it. I think about that often. I think whether I'm on a phone call, whether somebody is being unkind to me, whether somebody has said something about me, it doesn't matter. I literally think, and I believe that there is enough love in this world for everyone, no matter what.
I agree.
What I always go back to, because the greatest example of love that I have is Jesus, and he for me is the epitome of love for me.
Well, that's beautiful. So I believe, and my higher power is the universe, I'll tell you. And I believe that the universe the universe wants us to succeed. It wants us to be happy. And that may be through lessons we must learn. And we all have those lessons we must learn in some way, shape, or form. But do unto others as you would have done to you is a beautiful, it's not just a saying, it's a promise. It really is.
Well, I think about our bodies. I mean, our bodies are designed, our skin we feel pleasure, our eyes see, our taste, our parasympathetic nervous system, our sexual response system, our senses, everything is designed for us to experience pleasure and joy and satisfaction and contentment.
It's true.
And like you just said, I mean, everything in the universe is for us to succeed. And I think about our body. Everything in our body is taking us towards our best life. We just have to get out of the way and not cause problems.
Yes, exactly. I'm always in my own way, so I understand exactly what you're saying there.
Yes.
Absolutely. This is the sidebar question. What is a family science degree? I was curious about that. I want to know what that is.
So I was traveling. I got that in the years of my divorce years, and I was traveling in Europe. And so I needed to have a degree that I could do 100% online. And I knew that I was switching. I knew that I was going to support others as a soul guide. And
Right.
so family science really went deep into individual systems, into relationship, into the family dynamics, into sexuality. There was just so many facets in family science. And so I took that degree from an amazing college in Utah, but I
Wow.
could do it while I was traveling in Europe too.
Wow. So that's incredible. I've never heard of family science. So I think that's really it's an interesting title for knowledge and learning that's very vital. Now, you traveled in Europe for a while, right? How long were you there?
My children were still in America, so I was back every 6 months, but I was there for a couple of years.
Oh, wow. So you went to Spain because I know you sat on the beach in Spain. Where else? Where else did you experience? What did you experience?
Oh, I went to Paris. So I bought a one-way ticket
Paris.
to Paris. And as I
Lovely.
was sitting in my hostel talking to flatmates, I was just hearing all these different languages, and somebody said that they'd been to Morocco. So and I bought a plane ticket to Morocco, and I went to Morocco, which was
You did Africa too.
that's an incredible experience. Yes. And then I
Wow.
met one of my children in Bosnia and Croatia.
Wow.
And I talk about this in the book. I do talk about, there was just some amazing, amazing experiences. Like being in Bosnia and seeing how that country rebuilt itself after the war. Because when you and I are probably, I mean, I'm probably older than you, but when my children were
Not by much, I'll just tell you.
the Bosnian War was happening, and I was, that was really impactful. And then to go over there and see the rebuilding of the cities and the wall and the bridge and the fields, that was so fun for me. And I remember being there thinking, if a country can rebuild itself like this, then this was just right after my divorce, then my family and I can rebuild ourselves.
Yeah. Wow.
It's very powerful for me.
That is very powerful. I'm sure you had some incredible experiences.
I did.
Yeah.
France, England, Ireland. Yeah, I fell in love with Europe.
Yeah, I lived in Denmark for a while, and so I've traveled all over the place, but my heart is in Scandinavia. It's funny, still, whenever I fly in to visit friends or family there, whenever I fly in, I start to cry, because it's like coming home. It's beautiful.
I totally understand that. That's kind of how I feel in Morocco. I kind of feel like part of my heart is still in Morocco.
I understand that. I feel personally that travel broadens horizons. And I don't mean just in the way of going someplace. You're going someplace new for yourself too. So it's not something that you can replace by reading a book. Now, don't get me wrong. I love reading books, but it's an experience that has to be felt, smelled, tasted, all the senses engaged in order to really create something new within yourself.
For me, solo international traveling was the greatest healing tool I ever used, because as I went there were no reference points, all the labels, all the expectations. I knew no one. I didn't know the currency. I didn't know where I was going.
You have to learn.
Well, everything shed, all of those expectations, all those layers that I had put
Yeah.
on for so many years, they
Wow.
just were gone. Because the only thing that was left for me to survive in this place that I knew nothing about, I had no reference points, was the truth of who I was. Like
Wow.
who Wendy Beth is. And I got to experience her in the most beautiful way as I just walked through I have such fond memories of walking through the streets of Paris,
Lovely.
walking in Morocco, and just walking and just being in stores and just really like picking up something and just picking up like for the first time, like really experiencing who I was and just falling in love with myself, like loving myself in a way that I never had. So I always encourage anyone who has any inkling to solo international travel.
Oh, it's amazing.
Go do it.
Yeah, you learn so much about yourself. So what kind of advice would you give to a woman who is really struggling to figure out what's next for them? What would you tell them?
I would tell them to get very, very quiet and very still and to write. Just start writing. Just start writing the real, true feelings of your heart. And it might take you a couple days, maybe a couple hours, maybe you will find the answer. The answer will come to you. The next step will come to you.
Wow. It will, if you free your mind up to do just that and to listen.
But
Beautiful.
You do have to get still, and you do have to be quiet, and you have to kind of just...
You have to be.
Just be with yourself.
Yeah. Lovely. Well, Wendy Beth, I believe that every woman on earth has a superpower. And I could tell you some of yours from my perspective, but what would you say is your superpower?
Andrea, my superpower or my greatest gift is that I see magnificence in every human being.
What an incredible gift to have. You see magnificence in every human being.
No matter what.
Wow, no matter what. That's qualifying because I think that everyone has some spark of magnificence, but I think some of them have lost it along the way. So what a beautiful superpower to have. Thank you for sharing it with us today. I will say, listeners as well, I am very calm. Now, this has been beautiful for me. Just being on this call with you has evened out my day in a beautiful way. So thank you.
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
Well, Wendy Beth, we've had a wonderful conversation with you today, soul guide coach and author of Living Blueprint. We will put a link to that book in the show notes as well as to your site. But where else, Wendy Beth, can we find you online?
You know what? wendybeth.org is the best place to find me. Just go to my website, drop me a little note, give me your email. I reply to anyone and everyone who comes to my website. So just say hi.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Thank you for being on the show today. This has been a great conversation.
Awesome. Such a pleasure to meet you, Andrea.
You too. And listeners, I want you to remember that we all have those greatest gifts, those superpowers. Wendy Beth has superpowers. She sees magnificence in every human being. I have superpowers, and listen, you have superpowers as well. Tap into them, find them, and use them for good. The world needs it. And thank you for listening today to the Lead Like a Woman show, where we are passionate about empowering female leaders to empower others. Take care.